Dear friends, you're welcome to this other edition of Beyond Africa. On Beyond Africa today, we are receiving a guest who's been so involved and invested a lot of time talking to people about travel to the United States and to other countries. This time, our conversation is going to focus more on the DV, that is the Diversity Visa Lottery, that of which the results were recently released. So you're going to hear from him how to prepare, what to prepare, how to travel, how to integrate into the American society, and above all, if you do not win, what are your chances? Should you feel depressed? Should you give up? Or should you live life as you want? When we come back, I'll introduce my guest to you. Stay tuned. You are welcome back. May I bring my guest to you, Mr. Ernest, the General Manager, CEO, founder of EBM Scholars. You're welcome to Beyond Africa today.
Thank you so much. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. I see you smiling. I see you happy because this is one of those periods in which in your life where you help people, you talk to people, you reconstruct them, and you give them tips that will be necessary for their next steps in life. So how are you feeling generally?
Doing very, very good. Thank you so much. So far, it was a very busy time on processing on the DV lottery results. I did a live for 14 hours non-stop straight on the day the results came out. So now I'm still recovering. So I didn't sleep for like 2 days non-stop. So it was a little bit a lot. But that is something usually I do on the time of the DV lottery results. Is a busy time to follow up with the results, but also to encourage people who by chance didn't win, but also to give the guidance for people who have won the DV lottery, what is up to them when they get excited to start the new journey in their life. So it has been a very good one.
Yes, I realized that you were so busy and you had all that pressure on you and you had to help people understand the next steps. And I said, this shouldn't be something for you alone. It shouldn't be on your head alone. I should come in. Let's have this conversation. Let's bring people, let people hear in a conversational manner, right? Rather than just talking to people. Because sometimes when you just talk, it's like you're dumping so much information onto people and it's difficult for them to inculcate or take all the information at the same time. So thank you again for accepting to come to the program. And like I said at my intro, this conversation is going to focus on helping those who won the lottery to understand what is at stake, to understand the next steps, and to understand what it means to integrate into the American society, while at the same time encouraging those who would have loved to have won the DV lottery but did not win, and are hoping to play next time, or are hoping to travel the next time, are hoping to be here the next time, so that we keep on surviving, we keep on giving people that hope, right? Because we need to encourage people. We've taken steps in our lives, and we hope that people can also take those steps in their lives. And what is a human being? What is man if man cannot help others who are coming after through the same path?
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah. So I just want to hear from you. What is the general trend you are getting from after your 14-hour live show? That was a lot. Yeah. So what is the trend you are getting from the people, from those who played, from those who are hoping on you, from those who are asking for advice, from those who have not been able to see the results? What is the trend? What is happening out there?
So the trend for now for people after I've checked for the results. Number one, if I compare this year's results and the previous year's results, is the fact that for people in Africa, majority of people I see right now have won, they have what we call the good case numbers, not the very high case numbers compared to the previous last year. Last year, at the beginning, people have checked the results, is excited, I have won the DV lottery results. but to ask you what is your case number is the number which is going to determine when you will be scheduled for the interview or not to be scheduled at all. Last year, people at the beginning, they check the results, they tell you they've won. Their number is way far away. 100,000, 95,000, which you are not going to be called for the interview, unfortunately. But this year, majority of people who are asking me, I ask, what is your case number? Oh, it's 10,000, 12,000, 50,000, 40,000. But most of them, they have good case numbers from Africa. So that is a very good encouraging in one way. So that helps for people not only to be the winner, but to have a chance to be called for the interview. And then it's up to you to make sure that you follow the proper regulations and make sure that you fill everything accordingly as what we are going to discuss. But this is a very good thing to see. Majority of people who are winning, they have good case numbers. That means they will be having a chance to appear on the visa interview to the consular officers.
Yeah, I don't want us to sound like we are discouraging people or we are putting some fright into people's minds. About a case number, it means that the case number is a number assigned to you after you have won the DV, and that case number determines when you'll be called for an interview. There are only 50,000 spots for winners all over the world, so there are more than 50,000 winners, and all the 50,000 winners may not have visas. Yes. So if you have a high case number, which means it is pushed far away, close to 2025 or 2026, it means you could, not that you are not going to, but you could not have a visa, which it is not our prayer. Our prayer is you get that visa as soon as possible.
Yes.
Yeah. Over the years, have you come across people who have had a very bad case number but have not had visas? Do you know any person?
Over the years, we're talking about the recent. Yeah. Over the years, that is a common thing. If your number is about from 70,000 and above, you are waiting, hoping majority of people will be denied the visas. I'm talking about the case number, each region is different. I'm talking for the region of Africa. If you have 70,000, 75,000, 80,000, yes, you might be called for the interview, but your chances are not so high compared to a person who is 45,000. That's why if I quote some of the words which are written on the first notification letter that you are the winner, the winning letter, it says as follows. Congratulations, you have been randomly selected for the further processing of the diversity visa. And then they give you the fiscal year. For this year, they say 2025. If it's 2024, it'll be 2024. If 2026, they put 2026. But after that, they say, selection of this diversity visa lottery does not guarantee that you will be given the visa. Remember, the number of people who have been selected is higher than the numbers of visas are supposed to be issued, are supposed to be guaranteed the total number. I can give you an example. The DV 2024, meaning the DV lottery results, people applied in 2022. Results came out on May 2023 last year. They are processing from October last year to September 2024. The number of winners was 142,800, 900, nearby 143,000. So we had all those number of winners worldwide. The visas allocated for all people around the world is 55,000 visas. But the winners from Africa alone, just Africa alone for last year, guess how many people won from Africa last year? It was about 55,116. So, but out of all those winners from Africa, 55,000 winners from Africa last year, how many will be given visas? Almost half of them. Africa is the continent or region with a high number of winners and the high number of people will be given the visas. So the visas from Africa usually is between 22,000 to 25,000 winners will be given the visas. So half of them will not be given the visas. Those will be having majority from 80,000, 78,000, 90,000, 120,000. You are not going to be called for the interview. So that's how it is to determine how many people are applying. and the winner's relationship to the number of visas. So the case number is very, very important. That's why I usually tell people, when you check the results, yes, we're excited, I'm the winner. But before you start celebrating, look on the case number. Should you continue to celebrate or celebrate a little bit? That's something people should know when it comes to the case number. It's very, very crucial.
So where can winners go to know to know how the evolution is going, if their case number is being called, or when their case number is going to be assigned? Before we go into the details of the forms that they're going to be filling, do you know where they can be going to see the trend?
Yes. So there is something called the visa bulletin. Visa bulletin is a bulletin provided by the Department of State. Department of State is in charge of all visas, or all embassies and the consulates around the world. So because this is a visa program, it is under Department of State. So Department of State each year is giving how many people are going to be processed each month for the visas. So they'll be processing for different types under visa bulletin, but there is a section for specific for diversity visa. If you go to that section, they are going to give, like month of October, how many people are going to process. It'll be maybe from 1 to 10,000. From November, the month of November, maybe up to 12,000. The month of January. So each month they'll be doing that one. So if you search visa bulletin in the specific month, you can go to the Department of State website and you can put there. And you can even put the email where whatever they're posting, they can notify you if you want to do that on the website of the Department of State. They are doing that one. But again, because the results are just out, doesn't mean that now you are going to do the interview in October. The interviews are going to start in October 1st. That is the first day of the fiscal year for the US government. So if that is the first day, the visa bulletin, which will start to give when the people in October will be interviewed, will be in August. So August, they are going to release the first visa bulletin for the DV 2025 winners, which the people who results came out this time. Their visa bulletin will come in August for October to start. And again, those who won October will be the one with the small case numbers. Then September, it will come the visa bulletin for November. Then October will come for the visa bulletin for December. Usually 6 weeks before the interviews, they release the visa bulletin and they release the email to schedule for the interview for people who are supposed to do that way. We'll come to the filling of the forms. That's why I usually tell people, don't rush to start filling the form before you know the understanding of the visa bulletin. So someone, based on the case number, let's say your case number is 25,000. So your interview is probably likely will be in May, end of April or May 2025. So why are you rushing right now to submit your visa form? Make sure you have everything first before you go to submit. So people, they think that, oh, first come, first served basis. No, there is a visa bulletin which is going to determine which window, which category are we going to process the interview on this particular month.
If it is done on a first come, first served basis, then the servers are definitely going to crack because everybody would like to be the first. So yeah. So do you generally share a link of the visa bulletin on your site, on your social media handles for easy access for those who are following you?
Yes, I usually share. I don't know if I can be able to put it on the chat. I don't know if I'll be able to do that.
I think you should be able to chat here.
No, it doesn't give me the link. I can do a private chat to you and then you can post it on the...
Okay.
Yeah, I can just go specifically and then give to you, and then you can post the visa bulletin.
All right, that works well. That'll be good so that our viewers can know where to go to look for that information.
Yeah. So if you go on that link, you'll be able to see the visa bulletin for each month, and you can be able to Yeah, I sent it in the private chat.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. I'm copying it to send over. So this is definitely going to be the Bible for those who are preparing or those who want and are thinking about coming. So one advice that the embassies always give is do not make any financial engagements at this point unless you have had your visa. Do not sell your house. Do not resign from your job before your visa is authorized. So just kind of have that at the back of your mind, because as Ernest is saying, it is important that you follow the steps. It takes a long time. It is a sure way of coming to the United States. If all the steps that we're going to talk to after this are complied with, then you are very sure that you're going to have the visa. The visa is not going to be a big problem if you comply with the steps that we're going to be talking about. And one thing I know is that Ernest helps a lot. EBM Scholars, the company, helps a lot with advice and accompanies people along the line until they come to the United States. So we are going to have 1 second. When we come back, then we'll talk about the next steps, especially for those who have already won the visa, the DV. All right, you are welcome back, and we are talking about DV lottery, those who have won and those who did not win. Those who won, what are the next steps? Those who did not win, what should you do now? So we're going to dive straight into talking about the next steps. But first of all, did you just win the DV lottery? Did you? It's time to celebrate. You're looking at that computer, seeing the results. It's time to celebrate, because sometimes we work for this. Sometimes we put a lot of hope on it, and it opens doors for us, doors that we can use to give back to the continent. On this program, we lay emphasis on the fact that we do not discourage migration out of the continent, but we encourage those who have migrated out of the continent to give back to the continent, to hold somebody's hand, to support the continent, to support those who are back on the continent, so that we can continuously improve our continent and ensure that our continent also competes with other continents. We are lagging behind, but we should be able, those of us who have traveled, to support the continent and help the continent move forward. That is the mantra on this program. And this program also encourages those who have already traveled and are in the diaspora to come to this program and talk and share experiences. Come and tell those who are preparing to come what they should be preparing, what they should think. Share your experiences so they come well prepared. All experiences are definitely not going to be the same, but share your experience. Let people start having a mental vision of what they are going to face when they come here. So Ernest, let us talk about the next steps. What are the next steps? What should people be thinking about?
Yes, you have won the DV lottery. It's a big thing. Usually we say sometimes the chance is very difficult for someone to be among the winners. If you look on the statistics and the probability, in Africa, 1 in 178 to 200 people maybe is becoming the winner. So winning the diversity visa lottery is a big thing. Now what? Your end has been selected. These are the following things you need to do. Number 1, you have to check your case number. Case number is helping you to determine probability when you will be scheduled for the interview. That is step number 1. After knowing, maybe my case number is 2000, then I have to follow the next steps. I have to fill the visa form. This visa form is known as DS 260. Department of State form number 260. Majority of people are used to fill the form DS 160. The difference between 260 and 160 is non-immigrant visa. 260 is immigrant visa. Meaning, immigrant visa is the visa you are coming to United States to become a permanent resident. Non-immigrant, you are coming to visit, you're coming for medical, you're coming to conference, you are coming to study, you are coming for temporary work, you are coming for any reason, but we're expected after certain particular period of time, you go back to your home country. That is a non-immigrant. You are not planned to become immigrant. You're not planned to become a permanent resident. So this DS-260 form is going to determine also whether you'll be given the visa or not. That's why we say even if you are advised as soon as possible, don't rush to fill the form. Go back and review what does the form need and what are the qualifications are needed to get the visa. As I said, they say on the letter you have been given that your entry has been selected. Congratulations. But being selected doesn't mean that you'll be getting the visa. You can be, yes, called to go to the interview, but still be denied the visa because of lack of qualifications or failure to fill the DS-260 correctly. Number one, you'll be supposed to have the address, the US address. This must be a residential address, not Airbnb business address, not a hotel address, not a PO box. It has to be a person's home address. We call the address of the host. You have to be careful who you are going to get the address from. Why? That address is where your social security might be sent. That address is where your green card will be sent. So not everybody, because he's in America, must be a person who has a good morals or is a trustworthy person. If you take any random person and you say, oh, I'm using your address, you can use someone's address, but I'm not coming to stay there. But what if the person you do not know and the person is not a trustworthy, is using the address, you're not staying there, and the social security comes, the person is saying didn't come and is using your identity or is using your. So first of all, find someone you can be able to trust to use their address. That's number one, because in that form, you cannot submit a form without having address where you are going to stay in America. Otherwise, you are coming to become homeless. That is a different story. They're not going to give you the visa for that particular reason. Number two, you have to also go back, take a step back, review your qualifications. The qualifications, number one will be education. What is your highest level of education? Remember, in order to be given the visa, they require you to have a minimum of high school education. High school education in this context is defined in American context, not in your country's context. There are some countries, you finish primary school, elementary school, you go to secondary school, 4 years, and that is high school. For instance, in Kenya, you finish in standard 8 primary school, you go to secondary school, 4 years, you just have what we call high school. But if you go to some other countries, you go to Tanzania, you go to Uganda, you go to Namibia, you go to Zimbabwe, you go to South Africa, and some of the West African countries, the secondary school is divided into two groups. There is a junior and there is high school. There is ordinary secondary school and there is high school. In Uganda, they call it senior 4 and senior 6. Some places they call it advanced school, advanced secondary school, and ordinary or high school and junior high school. So if you are going to school and your country doesn't have direct to 12 grades of schooling, your Form 4, your ordinary secondary school, your junior, your senior 4 is not high school. So you must make sure that your high school is compatible to high school in America. If you don't have high school minimum, you have to depend on what we call qualifying, keyword, qualifying work experience. Not all work experiences are compatible. Not all work experiences are accepted in absence of high school. So if you don't have high school, you need to have a qualifying work experience. Either or. If you have high school, you don't need to have work experience, you are good. Let me give you an example. Someone, let's say, is a security guard, is dealing with security. That person might not be able to be applicable to qualify. But another person is doing security at the bank, but is an officer in the army, is an officer in the police force. So the point is not the job. The point is what is the job title, What are the responsibilities of that particular? And are those compatible with the Department of Labor? There is online on-net website of the Department of Labor. You can put your job there to see if it qualifies, it meets the qualification of Job Zone 4. And what we call the SVP is the range, to see your vocational range, where does it fall? So this is a critical, because you can be denied if you don't meet both education and or work experience. You will be denied. So don't rush. Make sure you have everything before you go to fill the visa form DSC 260. And when you're going to fill the DSC 260, there is the concept of what we call the change in family situation. You applied in October. From October to May, so many things have changed. Someone might be born, someone might die. Maybe you are engaged, now you are married. Maybe you are married, now you're divorced. Or you are legally separated. So there are so many other things have happened. Assume you applied as a single. You got married maybe in April, or you got married right after that. Make sure that if there is a change, you have enough evidence to show that there is a change. And if that person needed to be added to the DSC 260, you are allowed to do that with the proper evidences. Anything can happen. Or some people can be married, but at that particular time, the results are out. You don't want to come together. There is a way to fill the visa form in that particular way. So visa form DSC 260 is almost everything is needed. Then there is a criminal background. There are so many questions in the criminal on the DSC 260. Have you ever done this one? Have you ever done this one? Have you ever done this one? You can say no, whatever you want. But there is another part. They will need a police clearance report. In all countries you have lived after the age of 16, and you have lived in that country for 6 months and above. So if you're from Cameroon, right now you are in Kuwait, you are working in Kuwait, you have lived in Kuwait for 7 months, you will be required to have a police clearance of Kuwait and the police clearance of Cameroon. If you're Kenyan, now you live in, let's say you live in Canada, you will be required to have a police clearance from Kenya and police clearance from Canada. So that's how it is. But if you are a minor under the age of 16, doesn't matter even if you live in any country for even 2 years, whatever it is, you don't need to have a police clearance if you are under the age of 16. But police clearance report, that is one aspect. But how do they determine criminal in other ways? When you are going to fill the visa form, whether it be immigrant visa form DSC 260 or non-immigrant visa form 160, for the US government, there is one important question. Write all the social media accounts you have ever used, even if you are no longer using them now, in the last 5 years. Why do they ask that question? They're asking that question because they are going to use that question as another way to do a criminal background check. They have a system where they'll put your own social media. They'll use all your previous emails they upload into the system. They'll use all your phone numbers you have used in the last 5 years, even if you are no longer using them. They'll upload into their system to find your criminal-related activities. They're not going to look about how many tattoos you have, how many beers you have. No. But what are they going to look at? Are you using drugs? What are they going to look at? Do you like maybe or you support terrorist organizations? I can give an example. Right now, there is a war in Israel between Israel and the Hamas/Palestine. Each person can have their own opinion. You are okay to say, I don't want to see war going on in Israel and Palestine. You are okay to say that. But according to the US government, Hamas is a terrorist organization. So if you support Hamas, you like the post of Hamas, guess what? You are going to be denied the visa because you support a terrorist organization. Just like you are supporting, if you find out you like the picture of Osama bin Laden, you like Boko Haram, you like whatever ISIS, is the same thing. So not necessarily they're going to look, so they are looking at all this kind of aspect. You might have a political ideology, different. Maybe you are Democrats. You say, I don't understand Trump. Better this person to die. But remember, this person may be a president of the United States. So you want America to die? You want the president of the United States to die? Oh, you're a supporter of Trump. Say, oh, I don't like Biden. Better to die this person, whatever. Do you want the US president to die? So they are looking into the risk you are going to bring to American people. You'll be denied the visa. So the purpose of criminal record is also to check on social media. What do you post? What do you like? Not everything should be posted. Not everything, not because someone has posted something because you like this person is a celebrity in Africa, celebrity in America. You have to like it without even reading what they are reading. You are going to read. So not just look what you are going to like, what you're going to support. Who is your friend on social media? It's not about let me accept all these people. What if ISIS account, you follow the ISIS account on TikTok or Twitter? You'll be in trouble. You have to give explanation. So a criminal record is looked into so many other things in that aspect. I can give one example. Right now, there is a case that has been opened against Prince Harry. He's now living in the US. Started with some issues, moved it forever to US. He is under the certain particular type of visa in the US. Guess what happened? In his book, he wrote he was using drug. And at that time, then he applied for the US visa, is the US. So there are a group of people, they applied. This person has been in this particular situation, is not allowed to get the US visa. So they wanted the visa of Harry to be revoked. So don't look on what you are talking about on social media. You are going to the bar, you have bottles of pills, but not just normal pills, the pills which are against, you'll be in trouble. Those are other things on what you are looking at. Then, let's say you are Muslim. Let's say you are traditionalist in certain particular tribe, you follow certain principles. Your country allows you to have more than one wife. Based on the tradition, based on religion. It's okay in your country. Guess what? In US is illegal. If you tick, there is a question. Are you planning to come to the United States of America to practice polygamy? If you say yes, visa denied. So all those questions, the security question they're asking, they have so many things. What organization or church do you pay the money to? You support them online. So they are going to look at security in a so big area, just beyond the police clearance of your country. Remember, anything you delete on internet is not deleted. Any person with the technology can go back and search it, and it will be there. Google search doesn't delete complete your digital footprint. It will be there forever. So watch what you are posting on social media. Then it comes to the medical part. The medical, obviously, majority of people are passing the medical. They don't care if you have HIV/AIDS. They don't care if you have whatever type of disease, certain disease. They don't care much. But there are things they are going to look at. Number one, do you have tuberculosis? Why do they ask that question? It's because tuberculosis has been eliminated in the United States, and there is they don't do vaccine for tuberculosis in America. So in the medical, you'll be required to do the tuberculosis test. If you have, you are not going to be denied the visa. Because there is one guy in Sierra Leone, I know that case particularly. He was told, go and do treatment. Once you are good, you will be getting the visa as long as it's still within the fiscal year. Number two, are you using drugs? If you are using drugs, excessive use of drugs, obviously you're going to be denied the visa, part of the medical. On the medical, they are going to look at the mental health. There is no problem of a mental health. But if it has been proven, you took a knife, stabbed people at the bus stop in your own country in Africa. Guess what you do in America if you come there, where a second amendment you're allowed to own possession of firearm? You can take the firearm and start destroying people in America. So if the mental health has been proven, you have been causing chaos in everywhere. You cannot be given the visa to come to America for the safety of Americans. That is the bigger part of the medical. They're going to look at those kind of things, but they're not going to look about other diseases like normal. They're going to look more about the vaccine to make sure that you have all this vaccine, and still they haven't changed. You must have also COVID vaccine in order to process under the medical to come here. So there are a lot of things that depend on one another, whether you can be able to be given the visa or not, based on the qualifications, based on the medical, based on the criminal record. So there are all those kind of things. Though out of those kind of things, there are extra things that you have. You have passport, which is yours. It hasn't been shown that it's stolen or whatever, something like that. It's okay to be in prison, but they look at what type of crime did you commit. If it's child support, you didn't pay child support, you have taken to the prison, that's not a big deal. But let's say you committed a certain type of crime, which they don't want them, obviously you're not going to get the visa. So crime is not a problem. What level, severity of that crime, type of crime, that will be another part. Is it this crime is going to affect Americans? So those are the things basically you need to understand. You have to be aware of them before you go to fill the visa form. So the visa form is everything. One last thing.
You've been giving a lot of information. Let me give you a few minutes, a few seconds, so you sip some water down your throat, let your throat rest a little bit.
I want to mention one last thing, first of all, on that one.
Yeah.
There are some people who have already applied for the visa before at the US Embassy. I usually don't advise people. They start like, oh, you apply for the visiting visa. Let me say, I'm married. When you are not married, let's say I have a child so that I can get the visiting visa. You win the lottery. You appear at the US Embassy again. Remember what? Everything you fill in the DSC 160 on the visiting, coming as a student, you put your fingerprint there, they have everything for you. So you come there again, you say you don't have a child, unless others is dead. So make sure you don't change a lot the information from what you unless there's a change, someone is born, someone is dead, someone whatever. But otherwise, be careful on what you posted on the previous application versus now. Otherwise, you will be denied the visa because of that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ernest. That's been some detailed information there. And I think the bottom line here is when you're filling your GS 260, what is important is be as truthful as possible. Do not invent facts. Do not invent answers to questions. Be as truthful as possible so that you can, satisfy the requirements of the U.S. Department of State. Because if they already have your information and they come and give another information, is going to conflict. And as Ernest was saying, Prince Charles actually filled a form some times ago, and then from his book, there is contradictory information, and he's being investigated about that. So there is always room for that. That notwithstanding, there are situations where the law recognizes certain exceptions, but these exceptions must be true, must be founded, and must be reasonable. So it's good to talk to people who already know what the system is all about. And all those people who are advising, I urge them to give good advice, to give true information so that people do not run into problems when they come to the United States and they are making a living. So it's necessary. Do you have any last thoughts about this part of it before we talk about the cost of travel?
No, that I think I covered almost everything. Yeah. Just one more thing. When, let's say, there are some people, when they fill the DS, they're going to fill the DS 260. They want to add someone. But before you ask people who know what does that mean, you can say, oh, by the way, I have a daughter of my brother here. I can add here. Then I can say my daughter. But when you add a person on the DS 260, and unfortunately, you cannot delete that one. There is no way to delete it when you add a derivative. Don't add a person who is not your biological child, not your stepchild, not a child who is adopted by legal ways, and you have the evidence, and make sure that that child was added before the application or was born or adopted after when you apply. So there are certain things that are very, very critical. Some people, they just add, and when you add derivative, embassy knows you have added someone when it comes that time, and then who is this person you wanted to cheat the system, you'll be denied. So make sure that the person who is helping to fill this one knows what they're doing. Instead of just let me add a person, you can add it, then you whatever. No, be careful.
All right, let's piggyback a little bit to talk about the address and where you're coming to live in the United States. What if somebody has won this thing and the person has all the opportunities and chances to come to the United States, a lifelong dream, and then that person doesn't have someone in the United States? Do you think there is a remedy to that?
Yes, when you win the DV lottery, one of the requirements is to show that you're not coming to become homeless to America. So where are you going to stay? Oh, I'm going to stay to so and so. The person has to be any person legally in America. Meaning, if they put that name, it's not El Chapo, because when they put that name, it's not a person who is most wanted person in America. So that is something you need to know. You have to understand that one. The person can be a green card holder, can be a US citizen. That person can be let's say that person can be international student, can be a person with a temporary work visa. As long as they give you the address, it has to be a residential address where you're going to stay. Unfortunately, not everybody has a relative in America. So if you don't have a relative in America, if you don't have a person, you cannot submit the DS360 without that one. I've seen some people, they say, oh, let me put the address of this hotel, I'll go to stay in that hotel. They will send the Social Security on that address. Guess what? Someone will take your green card and start using the life on under your name. So make sure you have the address. So what are the ways I usually suggest to people to get a person to get the address? Number one, there are some people, either YouTubers or some people, they have announced that, oh, if you come to stay at my place, you'll pay me 600, 1,000, depending on which agreement. Because you cannot rent apartment that is from your country. Some places they want you proof of income. Here in America, they want social. You don't have social. They want to have your credit score. You don't have those kind of things. What should you do? So that's another thing. Another way you can be able to do, I usually tell you, okay, which country you're coming from? Oh, you're coming from Kenya. You're coming from Ghana. Go to Facebook, find the Ghana groups on Facebook. Go and write to that group, ask it to join. When you join, ask the Ghana group in the US. I'm so and so. I have won the DV lottery. I'm looking for someone to help me to host me. Is there any person in the US will be able to host me even for 2 weeks? There'll be someone out of the people there. No problem. You can come stay here, but food is not. Someone will say this and this. No. Someone will say yes. Someone will say, okay, you can come to stay at my place under these conditions. You'll pay me for 2 months, then you go. It depends on someone. Okay, you're Muslim. Why can't you write to the Boston Muslim community? You are Catholic. You are Anglican. You are Seventh-day Adventist. You are Baptist. Write to a church, to a pastor. Okay, this is the strategy. These are my evidences. I'm looking for a host. Is there any person who hosts me this way? Person might do that. One person was going to Canada to school, but the school, he got the ticket cheaper almost 2 weeks before. So I asked the person to do the same thing. He wrote to a pastor announced to the church. One person said, okay, we stay at my place as long as you pay just $50 in these 2 weeks just to help to buy food. That's all I want. So it depends on that kind of thing. So there are different strategies you can use to find someone, or you can find a place, someone you can say, I will stay to you, I will pay for you. But this is what I tell people. Even if you're a relative in the US, if your relative or a friend or any person is excited to, you'll come to stay at my place, have a conversation of expectation of that particular person. Why? Yes, I might be a fellow Tanzanian, but I no longer live in Tanzania. There are certain behavior I've adopted the behavior for America. There are certain things I'm no longer using them. So don't come here expecting, for instance, your host to know everything like EBM on immigration. Not everybody has invested their life in immigration. Some people, they say, oh, my host didn't help me to find a job. No, it's a host you agree to pay to stay, not a job finder. It's not indeed that person. Oh, my host didn't take me to the job interview. No, get Uber. So, first of all, have a discussion. What is the expectation? But I've seen some people, they say, you come and they'll host you for free, but the expectation will come to babysit my kids. But they have to tell you in advance, not expectation. You don't talk. You come here, I expect you to babysit my kids, and you expect me to find a job, and there's a crash. Oh, this person is the bad host. This person is a bad person. You see, have a conversation. What is the expectation? So that when you come here, you have a good start of life. So host is very, very important. But one last thing about the host. Host is not a sponsor. People confuse that. Host is not a sponsor. Why? There are some people think that if you have a host, that is your sponsor. Among the things are required by some of the embassies, not all embassies. This is not a general requirement for all embassies for the view winners. Some of the embassies, they require a review winner to have what we call the affidavit of support. Form number I-134. So not all embassies, some of the embassies that say we want affidavit of support, some they don't want. The affidavit of support is a form someone in America, whether it's a green card holder or a US citizen, with a certain number of income above a specific threshold, will be required to fill that form and show what we call the tax transcript to prove that he is a US citizen or green card holder with a certain income, that if you have a financial problem, you are not going to the US government, that person will be in charge of helping you. That is what we call a sponsor or someone who is filling the affidavit support. So if a person is agreeing for you to host you, don't come to me, oh, EBM, my host has refused to send me the affidavit support. No. The host is agreeing to host you, place to stay. Then, if your embassy requires affidavit support, then you can ask that person, will you be able to help me with affidavit support? If the person says no, you can find another person. So a host and a affidavit support can be two different people. As I said, a host can be a international student, can be someone under the work visa, can be under a religious visa. But a person filling the affidavit support must be a green card holder or a US citizen with a certain income based on the number of the family members and the number of people who are coming. So you have to know the distinction between the two. If your embassy requires the affidavit support, start early to find the affidavit support. It is easier to get the person to host you, but it's difficult to get someone to give their documents for affidavit of support. So be careful when you are going to look for these two things. Make sure your embassy requires, start early to find a person who will be able to fill the affidavit of support form.
Thank you so much. I think at this point it's necessary to kind of let people know that you've filled these forms too many times and you have worked on these documents many times, and people who have difficulties or people who would like help can contact you to go through these forms, and because your company actually does that, so it's necessary they talk to you and see how you can help them and in what conditions you can actually help them. So it's necessary that viewers talk to Ernest to see how Ernest can help you. Ernest has been insisting on the difference between the host and the sponsor, and I think it's time we shift gears now to talk about the cost of the DV. What is clear is that those who play the DV and won or did not win know that the DV is free of charge. But now that you have won the DV and you are going to the next steps, that is when you're going to spend some money. Ernest has already mentioned the forms. He has mentioned the medical. He has mentioned travel. He has mentioned your initial stay in the United States. Can you throw more light on what is going to be the cost going forward?
Yes. The diversity visa lottery is free to apply. It's free of charge to apply. But once you win, it's not free. To apply for the lottery, if you have the photo, you have everything, is free. Now you have won the DV lottery. What are the costs after winning the DV lottery? I'm going to give you a breakdown as follows. I will give you what type of cost, how much does it cost each one, and what will be the expectation of that per cost. Number one is what we call the medical examination fee. This cost, once you are scheduled for a visa interview, that is when the process of the money starts. Filling the DS-260, you submit, you don't pay anything. But once you submitted and you are scheduled for the interview, you have at least 6 weeks to process these kind of things. So the medical fee, each country has a designated person to do the medical. That person, that physician, that medical doctor has a contract with the US Embassy to do that one. So don't go to the regional hospital or a certain dispensary you think they can do the medical for the US government processing. No, there will be a person in your country. If you're in the US, each city, they have those one. You research under the website of the immigration, they'll give that one. How much does it cost the medical? Majority of places will be between $300 to $400. That is mostly for the adults. For the children, it can be $100, can be $50, can be $200, can be $150. Because most of the children nowadays, they have all the medical records. They have almost all the vaccination. So assume you have 1-year-old child. That person has almost, that kid has almost all the vaccination. So you might go there, it can be even $50. That's all. But basically, it will be $300 to $400. So let's use the medium, we'll say $350, the medical. Then the next fee is what? Is visa fee. The visa fee doesn't matter how old you are. Everybody will pay $330. Whether you are 1 day old, whether you are 90 years old. So it's $330. Then, after that, when you are given the visa, there is a fee. You don't pay at the embassy. There is a fee of $220. What does that fee mean? That fee is called the green card fee. Is the fee to print the actual green card. That fee you have the option to pay before you come to America and to pay after arriving to America. You don't need to pay right away. Because even if you pay, they are not printing your card until you pass the border of the United States. If you come here and if you don't decide to come, obviously they're not printing. Let me give you an example that card how it looks like. So this is not a green card. This is the passport card. My card is a passport card. So it's just like this card. So to print that card, this one passport card is $25. But to print the green card, the actual card, is $220. So that one you can pay even after coming here. So if you add all of those amount is up to $900. Then the last fee is your flight ticket. So the flight ticket, first and foremost, you purchase one way. Why are you purchasing one way? Because you are coming to your home country. Remember, green card is a permanent resident of America. You are coming to your country. That's why when you win, you come to America, you will told welcome home. If you are a visitor, you are told welcome to the United States of America at the port of entry. So the ticket is one-way ticket. Number two, the ticket you're going to buy, the fee, the price will vary based on the following factors. Number one, which airline are you using? If you're using KLM, Air France, Delta combination, one-way ticket can be even $2,000. If you are using Middle Eastern flights, Qatar, you're using Emirates, you're using Turkish, Air Oman, that can be cheaper. If you're using Ethiopian Airlines, South African Airline, can it be cheaper too? If you use Kenyan Airline, sometimes it will be expensive depending where you are going, because sometimes they partner with KLM or Air France, but depending where you are going. But again, still, it's cheaper to use an airline. Then it depends which state you go to America. You are coming from East Africa, for instance. If you're coming from East, Southern Africa, whatever, when you come, you are coming to East Coast. It will be cheaper to come to East Coast. Because let's say if your final destination is New York, the flight will end up in New York. If your final flight is in Chicago, middle of America, it's ending in Chicago. But if your flight, let's say, is in Missouri, you go to Missouri, or your flight is going to Alabama, there is no KLM going to Alabama. It will take you to New York, it will take you to Dallas, Texas, it will take you to maybe to Chicago. Then from there, we'll take another flight, partnering with them, take it to Alabama. So that increases. Even if, let's say, you are taking direct flight from whatever country you are, you are going to California, you are going to Seattle, Washington, you are going to Portland, Oregon, you are going to Arizona, it will be a little bit further distance. The flight might be a little bit higher. Then there is another factor. You are buying the ticket today. When are you traveling? You're buying today, you are traveling tomorrow, obviously it will be higher. You're buying today, you are traveling 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now, 5 weeks from now, will it be a little bit affordable? Again, you're purchasing today ticket. Are you purchasing from the agent? You're purchasing from yourself. It varies, all those kind of things. Are you purchasing from during the time of summer like now, or you're purchasing the ticket during the winter time? If you're purchasing from the winter time, obviously it will be cheaper than if you're purchasing from the summer. That doesn't mean that you are given the green card today, you have to wait until October to travel or until December to travel. No. Once you're given the visa of 6 months to travel, if I'm in your position, I'm getting the visa today, I don't care how much the ticket costs. Within the same week, I'm traveling. That's me. I'm not waiting for a month in Africa. What if another pandemic comes? People were stopped to travel. What if the war comes? Better to come, then I'll come to accomplish other things later. But I get the ticket today, maximum have a week or 2 weeks. I'm out. Gone. So if you add the ticket, let's say the ticket will be roughly maximum $1,000. So that will make you $1,900. So average about $2,000 until you arrive to America and get the green card. Remember, the Social Security card is free. You are not charged to get the Social Security card. So that is about $1,900 or $2,000. But then, how much money do you need to start the life in America? That again will depend. Depends on you and your host. If the host says, come here, study for 2 months for free, even if you don't have, you have just 500, will be okay. But your host says, from day one you are starting paying, obviously you have to pay. So depending, you can have 500, you can have 1,000, you can have 2,000, 3,000. It will depend on you and your host. What is the arrangement? That's why I'm saying you need to have discussion with what is the expectation of your host and you. What are the terms of staying with your host? There are some people, they say you come to pay, but the first month you are not paying, you will start paying for the second month. So, and the first month money, you will pay on the second month and going forward. So depending on what discussion you have with the host, that will determine how much money you need to have. But adding to one more thing, obviously, once you arrive here, you have 2 weeks to get Social Security, and then you are speed to start getting money. So that is something else. How do you start the life? But that is how much money you need to have. The 2,000 until you arrive in America. Then from there, it depends on you and your host, how much money you have. The money to get into the bus, to get into the what type of transportation, like Uber, whatever, those kind of things.
Thank you so much. When it comes to money, it's more complicated because people are always thinking about the cost and thinking about sources of money. But one thing we should share with the viewers is most hosts, most guests, most of people who receive the newly arrived are always very generous to support them for the very beginning, not with extra cost, but just kind of help you settle down. And so when you come in and you are with somebody, be generous, understand the person, and also try to help that person. Help the person as much as you can, because just lodging you for a day is a very generous offer if that person is not asking for a dime from you. So try to be generous, try to understand, and try to also support the person.
One thing people should know, I'm not going to bring a stranger to my house. I have minors. What if you can rape them? I'm giving an example. So if it's been even 1 day, I understand sometimes. This is what upset me more. There are some people, I don't care what host has done, but people down the road, my host did this, my host did this, my host did this. But do you remember someone has taken the trust to bring into their life from wherever you are? I do not know your culture. Even if we are coming from one country, I do not know you much. I bring to my house, meaning that they have so many cases of people, abuse of kids. So someone giving one day to stay at their house, you have to be thankful. This is not Africa, like, oh, come on, stay here. No, it's individual culture. So people, they bring you in, please respect them, appreciate that one. It didn't work out, things happen. We understand. But don't hold, oh, the person didn't give me a rally to go to work. The person didn't go apply for me for a job. It's not the responsibility. The responsibility, someone say, I'm hosting you. Is the trust they give you. Come and say here, I'm taking the risk of this person will be a good person. So just appreciate, like you say, even one day, appreciate that day. And just find that is another connection. Can you put it onto another connection, another connection, another connection? So those are the things people should be aware of. This life, someone trusting you nowadays is a huge thing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Do you have any last words to give to those who are planning to travel to the United States before we switch gears to talk about those who didn't win and the options that they have?
My advice for people who have won the digitally is this way. You have to be extremely careful when you come to the United States of America. Why you need to be extremely careful? You come here, from day one, you have a green card. Majority of people who are in America, we came through education. We came through traveling, visiting. Then we change status to come to student. We came through work. Down the road, we get a green card. Majority of people get green card between 5 years to 10 years. You don't just come here and have a green card. People come here, study. After studying, they get a work. They get a visa, work visa. They get sponsored. Then down the road, some people, they come here, they get asylum. 7 years later, they become a green card holder. So remember, there are some people that have struggled for 7 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years to get that card you have today. So you come here, don't take that card for granted. It is the biggest thing people struggle here to get that card. So remember, it is very huge. Don't take it for granted. Oh, I have green card, so what? My life is easy. No, people struggle how to get that card. That card is very, very powerful thing, powerful tool you ever see. While others come with a visa, they have restriction of how many hours to work, what employer to work, which region to work, which state to go. Some of the visas don't allow you to work more than 20 hours or to work for more than 2 employers. But you, from day one, you have unlimited. You can work at any employer. Obviously, you cannot get most of the federal government jobs. You can live in a state. You can work 2, 3, 4 jobs. It's up to you. You have no unlimited. So you have the potential of succeeding. While others, they come in the plane, it has to go for a little bit until to go take off. You come with a green card, you're already on the takeoff stage. You are in the positive of succeeding in America. So don't lose this opportunity. So avoid the unnecessary things. Don't take this for granted. You have to find the ways on how to succeed very, very early. On the way to succeed, you'll find 2 groups of people in America. I'm talking about immigrants. There are immigrants who will make sure that you are not going to succeed. And there are immigrants who will want you to succeed. Those who want to succeed are very few. Majority might say, I don't want to succeed, but they don't tell you that way. One, they had certain practical information. 2, they might lie to you, give you wrong information on purpose. For instance, you come here. Oh, you ask how to use the credit card. Oh, credit, just take it, spend it. You can spend it. They're not going to catch you at home. That is the wrong advice. Someone is giving you that advice. They know for sure you have to mess up your credit. Then they'll say, oh, you're just brand new. You learn. So some people, they give you a wrong advice just on purpose so that you cannot succeed quicker. There are some people who had a difficult time. They want you not to have that bad experience. Very few of those. They struggled a lot until they get green card. They struggle, really struggle. So those people, they say, some people of them say, okay, I struggled this way. This is my story. These are the mistakes I did. Avoid these mistakes in all costs. But there are some people who had a difficult time. They want you also to pass through that same tunnel of fire to get a struggle so that you can mess up your life. You have to be careful who to trust. Not everybody who is in America because comes from Africa should be your friend. Not every immigrant should be your friend. Because you talk about Super Eagle national team and Arsenal and African Cup of Nations, you talk about the same eating jollof, eating pilau, eating rice, eating ugali, eating fufu, whatever you call it in your country. I don't care if we eat the same food. I don't care if we are the fan of Real Madrid. Even if we are coming from the same country, that should not be the reason why a person should be your friend. Just in one country, everybody is not your friend. You come here. If a person is genuine friend to you, be genuine friend to that particular person. But just don't become a friend to any person just because he's immigrant. People come to regret later. Someone is there, can plant drugs on your car on purposely. Or open the bottle of alcohol, drink some, and leave in your car. Even if you're not drunk, that is open bottle. Almost all that's illegal. So you never, because you do not know certain regulations. Some of us say, oh, I want to pee. Oh, pee over there, it's okay. This is not Africa. So someone can give you a bad advice. If you pee on the side of the road, guess what? You become on the sex offender list. Your life is ruined completely. So make sure that you know, take time to trust someone. Not everybody should be your friend. Another last thing. When you come here, some people, they think, oh, now I can go to school. I can study in America now. That's very good. You can get a student loan. Don't just jump to these student loans. First of all, what do you want to study? You come here within 1 week and you want to study certain thing just because you heard it pays a lot. Remember, some of you might have, this course is good because of your experience in your country. But here it cannot be applicable. Or because of the fewer options in your country, you are forced into a certain program, to a certain profession, to a certain career. But you come here, now you have unlimited window of careers. Take your time to think, why do you want to study something? Why? For instance, on my case, so many people, they come here, I see, I want to become a nurse. Why? Oh, it pays a lot. Who told you nurses get paid a lot? No. Nurses are paid $35 per hour. Majority, if your father is $40 per hour. What they do, the nurses, they work 3 days a week. After those 3 days, instead of to rest 4 days, they go to get another job of $35 again. So they work, instead of working $40 hours per week, they work 80 hours per week. Instead of 160 hours per month, they work 320 hours per month. So obviously, if you work on warehouse, 2 jobs, you'll get more income. So people don't know, they forget that nurses have to work twice, 2 jobs to make $10,000. You think, oh, I have to be a nurse. Even if you go to the warehouse, you get $20 per hour. You get 2 jobs, you get good money. So the point is, don't just go to a particular job. What if that job is not your dream? I don't have the vocation to become a medical profession. So even if they get $500 per hour, I'm not going to become a nurse. I'm not going to become a doctor. If the doctor, they get $2,000 per hour. I don't have that passion. I'm not passionate. I don't have that vocation. Truck driver pays well. Is it your dream to become a truck driver? Or you're going to cause accident to some other people? So you have to figure out before you start investing, taking a loan of $50,000. $100,000 loan to go and get a degree. Oh, in my country, I want to do MBA. Let me do MBA. Who are you going to advise you? With your business of second-hand clothing from Africa, you want to advise Chase Bank? What experience do you have here? Come here, don't rush. Take your time, take experience here and there, learn from other people, see what you really like, find a way to excel. But even if you are working, the last thing you need to know is 2 things. find a way to have a side business. Business ownership of something is how you excel. And also find a way from very, very early to understand the financial education of the United States of America, money system, how the money works in America, how the retirement works in America. Otherwise, you will die here in America. You don't have even $1, and you are going to ask people to contribute into WhatsApp groups to take you back to Africa. But find a way to retire very, very early. How much do I need to retire? What are the financial portfolios I need to have? So those are my official advice on how you can start your life. But for in-depth, you can ask for consultation, or you can find people you trust, ask the specific questions. Have friends from different professions. If I'm an engineer, I need to have friends who are engineers, friends who are bankers, finance, or other field. So all those kind of things will help you in one or another to be able to succeed. So those are the things you should know. You come as a green card holder, you have no one reason why you should not succeed in America. Everything is there for you. What you need is just blueprint, go off, succeed.
Thank you so much, Ernest. You have spoken here with so much passion. I think that is a passion that actually drives what you do for our fellow brothers and sisters who move here. And just to say that Ernest is not discouraging any particular profession. He is actually saying that once you come here, you should talk to people whom you trust, people who have explored the system, and also read wide. There is a lot of information on the internet that you can actually explore to know what where you should be going to with your life in the United States. So take your time, especially the first few weeks when you just come here, where you don't have anything doing. It's necessary to actually focus on studying, and also it's good to learn about what constitutes a crime in the United States. Sometimes there are certain things that are not crimes, sometimes there are crimes at home, but the government overlooks them. But here, some stuff are not overlooked. And with your phone, you can commit a lot of crimes. Cybersecurity crimes, sexual crimes, privacy violation crimes. So just be careful the way you use your phone, the way you expose yourself while you're in the United States, so you remain in compliance with the laws of the United States. Thank you so much, Ernest. Now let's switch gears and talk about those who did not win the DV lottery, but are hoping to come to the United States someday. What other avenues do they have, or what do they have as a remedy to not winning the DV lottery?
For those who didn't win the DV lottery, they have so many things to do. Number one, obviously, you have to understand that not all people who didn't win is because they made a certain mistake. So it's not your fault you didn't win. You might put the perfect application, but it's a lottery. 22 million people applied. They're going to give 140,000 winners. So in the end, by math, you might win or might not win. So if you haven't won, remember, there is another time. I know some people have applied for the first time, even seventh time, they haven't won. Each time you apply, that is your time. You never know. You cannot stop applying. If you don't apply, obviously you are not going to win. But the moment you submit the application, correct application, you have a chance. And each person has got a chance almost the same as any other person, because you submit to one application. There is no, I'm applying for the first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time. No. All will have the same chance. So you have to keep applying. So each year I predict when the DV lottery applications are going to be done. So the next DV lottery, you will know, is October. So I've already predicted on my website, I predicted on my YouTube channel. The DV lottery coming up is called DV 2026. Why is it called DV 2026? Is because the application is in the year 2024. From October, we'll give the dates. The results will come out in May 2025. The interviews will start on October 2025, which in the fiscal year of the government, that is only 2026. So from 2025 October until September 30, 2026. So the next DV lottery is called DV 2026. And my prediction for the dates will be from Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024 to Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, which will be on the general election of the United States of America. So prepare yourself to apply. When you prepare to apply, the number one mistake, don't use the same photo used to apply for the DV lottery. Take your photo, make sure that it meets the requirement, and apply. But when you do the application, don't now chill and you are waiting. My dream to go to America, I'm waiting for the DV lottery. No. You have to continue with other things. You have to continue with other things by doing what? Number one things to do is to evaluate what we call your personal profile. What is your professional profile? I'm a student. Which year are you? I'm in the final year of the university, or I'm the first year. Now I'm in high school. If you're a student, make sure, number one thing, get good results. Get high GPA. While you are studying, go and volunteer. Do internships. Improve yourself so that when you go, you can apply for further education. If you are working, yes, you are working, find also other way to also to do what? To volunteer. Do something for your community. Become productive to your community. We have been talking about what other way to improve your profile professionally. Write a book. If you write a book and upload it on Amazon, it's free of charge on Amazon to upload a book. They don't charge you as other publishers. It's called self-publishing. Follow the steps. Go and do a research. You can get some consultation on that. Put your book. When you publish a book, you become a published author. You increases your credibility. Even if no one is buying your book. I have 12 books. People are not buying my books. Not many people are buying. But when you read, oh, this person has written 12 books, the respect is changing. If I go to the US Embassy and I say, oh, what are you doing for a living? Oh, I'm working at the bank, but I'm also director for this NGO as a part-time board member, but I'm also published author with the 12 books. They see this person is not a loser. This person can contribute something to his community. So if I say I'm coming back, they trust me. I'm coming back because they see we're involved to the community with other things. So you need to do all sorts of things. So what is your profession? You are doing business, increase the value of your business. Register business in your government. Don't say I do the business on Instagram and WhatsApp and that business is registered. If it's not registered, it means you are not paying the taxes in your country. Meaning, if you have tried to hide, not to pay the taxes and to go out from breaking the rules and regulations of your cash, if you come to America, you can be illegal anytime. You can be out of status anytime. So you register, organize your company, pay taxes. When you go to the embassy, you have the documentation. I'm a business owner. This is my company. This is the best business bank account. This is a business mobile payment system, M-Pesa, or whatever Orange Money. Oh, this is MTN for you. Whatever it is, make sure it has a track record of something. So build that one. Then after building that resume or profile, look, okay, which way can I apply based on my qualification? I want to go through education. Do I have grades to get scholarships? If no, am I in a position to go as a self-financing? Can I apply for community college? Can I apply for bachelor, master's, PhD and pay on my own? If you can apply. Another way, apart from education, you can apply for short courses. In the US, for instance, we call non-degree programs. So there is a visa, it's called the M1 visa. It's a student visa, but it's a student who is not going to get a degree. It's a non-degree program. It's not a degree program. If you're going to get a bachelor, community college, you get an associate, bachelor, master's, PhD, you get F1. If you are coming here to study to become a DJ, you are coming to study to become, let's say, to get certain certification, Cisco certification, whatever it is, that is what we call M1 visa. So someone can be A degree already you can come to get that, but that's when you cannot get a scholarship. Then you can look, okay, there are certain organizations, they offer internships, paid internships. World Bank, they give internships to work in Washington, D.C. Do you qualify? Apply. UNDP, UN in general, all the agencies, they give internships. Apply. Then, apart from that, what about volunteering opportunities? There is UNV, United Nations Volunteers. Go unv.org on the website. You can volunteer. Go into volunteer. Other countries around the world. It can be within Africa, can be Asia, can be US, can be Europe, especially Geneva. There are so many opportunities to volunteer. They're not looking for GPA. Volunteer for the UN gets paid. For them, they're not calling salary. If you volunteer within Africa, you can get maybe $3,000. That's more than your bachelor degree or master's degree being employed. So you can find the volunteering, get experience in another country, then one trip leads to another. So you have to be open up. Not only I must dream is to go to America. What if there is a conference in Germany? What if there's a conference in Canada? What if there is a volunteering opportunity in Switzerland? Apply. So don't confine yourself in just the DV lottery or only just educational programs. You can come to volunteer. You can come to visit a friend. Ask for the invitation. But remember, invitation means a small part. The bigger part is, can you prove you will go back to your home country? I have a business registered. I have this kind. Make sure that you increase those kind of things. Open NGO, even if you have a job, even if you're a student. Find a conference. I'm coming here for the environment. Why? Because I'm a director for this non-profit organization dealing with the environment, cleaning the coastal area of our area, cleaning the markets. Those are the things you can be able to do. So open up the window of opportunities if this is your dream. When you go to one country, even if it's Poland, it can lead you to go to Germany. It can lead to go to Australia. It can lead to go to another country. There are conferences. Look on the conferences which are applicable to your profession. You are finance. You cannot go to the conference for medical microbiology expert. No. Apply the conference in your profession. Even if it's paid conference, you're going to pay. Take that chance. So there are so many areas people can be able to use to exceed, to evaluate their profile and apply for other opportunities. There are opportunities beyond green card. There are opportunities beyond the green card. There are opportunities other countries beyond the United States of America. So don't confine everything must be US. Yes, my dream was US. Guess what? When I was applying for scholarships, I applied to Europe too. I got to Europe, but I was already in the US. I'm not going to Europe. That was my dream. But someone's dream is, man, I must be to Norway. If you get the program to go to Australia, go to Australia first. Then you can go to a dream country. But moving from one country to another open up your window of connection. You are going to meet people. You are going to meet Nigerians. You are going to meet people from Ghana. You are going to meet people from Ethiopia. You're going to meet from other people. Then, your brain is opening up. Man, I'm so slow. I'm Tanzania. I'm so slow. See all these Nigerians. Man, why are they're not joking. You see, you get inspired by other people. And the last thing, how do you use your social media? How do you use your internet bundle in Africa? Are you watching all what is the beef between Davido and the Wizkid? Or after watching that beef, what is going on, take a time, let me go to the Google search. How many times you have used Google search how to get to the visas, Schengen visa? How do you volunteer with the UN? Don't tell me, I've been looking for 3 years since graduating. Have you applied for UN volunteers? Have you tried to look for volunteering at the local embassy in your country? All US embassies in your country has a section which they give you information about the visas. They give education opportunities about coming to America. Go to the website of every embassies. They have opportunities posted there. So try to use your internet bundle in your country for social issues, for your Arsenal, your Manchester, your Real Madrid, whatever team you are watching, you are supporting them. But also, 80% of your internet should also go into finding a way to explore, to excel yourself. If it's business, follow more account of the business. You want to go to Europe, you want to go to US, and you don't follow anybody on Dr. Waka Waka on social media, you don't follow EBM, you don't follow all others, people posting on TikTok, on Twitter, X, whatever. There are so many opportunities everywhere. There are so many resources. Follow people, watch them, get inspired, take action. Don't end up just watching one video. Watch more videos. Put a notebook, write a goal, strategy, succeed. And the last thing, when you find a good information, please share with others. Most of Africans, we have a bad behavior. We share only comedy issues. We share only the things about sports, about entertainment. Oh, I can forward it to one WhatsApp group, to another WhatsApp group, to another WhatsApp group, to another WhatsApp group. But if there is a job, how many times do you forward it to those WhatsApp groups? If I see a Fulbright scholarship, if I see Schengen visa program, certain program to get a Schengen visa, if I see a conference, if I see opportunity to apply somewhere, do I post on my social media? Do I forward it to other WhatsApp groups? We need to have, beyond the comedy, beyond entertainment, let's have the opportunity to share good things, to share opportunities, what you have learned with others on social media. That means they can also benefit. If God wants you to go to a certain country, you will go. Whether you share, whether you don't share, but not sharing, you are losing unnecessary blessings from others. Just share those ones. Still, if you are just to come to America or to go to Europe, you can go there. And you can still be in Africa and succeed. But if you come to America, if you go to Europe, always, never forget where you come from. You have a moral responsibility to share the opportunities, share the information, not just even to have a YouTube. Just there is a link. Just post it there. If someone asks, how did you go to America? Oh, I got a scholarship. People can believe, oh, so I can apply, I can get a scholarship because you ate this type of food, you ate from the same town. When you go back to visit your country, please take a time, 2 hours, go to your local school, back to your school, talk to the students. How did you come to America? How did you go to Europe? How did you do this? People can be able, oh, so if this is possible. Because someone can not believe, maybe you are from the village, has never seen any person in Lagos, in that village again. But you got a chance to travel around the world. Go and inspire them. Go and make sure that they can get something, like you can be a prime example. It's not about money you support, it's ideas, it's resources, it's information, it's opportunities. That's what we need to share with our colleagues in Africa.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ernest. I think that point is very important, and I like where you say that we must not travel, right? We must try to valorize ourselves, and traveling could be one of those ways of valorizing ourselves. If you stay back, if you have not had an opportunity to travel, you build your capacities, build yourself, build a business, get a job, study further, learn a skill, learn a trade. In fact, add more value to yourself. And as you were talking about using social media bundles, I was looking at this shot that I made this morning. I was just going through Twitter, looking at different stuff. Was looking at trends, what is trending around the world. So I could prepare something for the viewers. And look at China. What is trending in China first is GPT 4.0 that was released today. Then after that, you see Bitcoin. Then now they go to politics, talking about Trump. Then they talk about Guangzhou, which is a business city in China. Then I talking about Russia, which is a partner. Ukraine war, Russia, China war, Shanghai, and then Shanti. Then I switched to Ghana. The first thing is Ghana. In Ghana is football, Spurs, Tottenham. The next one is Angela List. I think that's a musician. Then we have Arsenal. Then we have Tottenham. We have Tottenham, Manchester City. Then you go to Nigeria. You have Arsenal. You have Spurs. You have Tottenham, Manchester City, and Portable. Yeah, that shows a trend of what we use our
Yeah.
social media to do, right? Yeah, because I don't think the X platform actually sent out wrong information. I think that is the information that they have gathered from the different countries on the main topics people are discussing about. And I don't know whether this is the opportunity for us to kind of say that people should do things differently than they have been doing. All these
Yes.
opportunities you are talking about, they're all on the internet.
Let me give you an example. The current generation has a problem. The internet now we have on our cell phone. Back 2007, no cell phone had internet.
Yep.
We used to go to the internet cafe. In the year 2005, I started my bachelor degree at the University of Dar es Salaam. The first money I was given by the government to use at the university, I went to buy what we call TTCL broadband. It was a certain type of cell phone, telephone, the home phone, but that phone has a certain network. You pay to have internet at your home. So my first year at the university, I bought that one, and I had it in my dormitory at the university, 2005. And my friend had a desktop computer, Pentium 2, very, very slow. So we had internet in our room, 2005. Browsing information, browsing opportunities. I gathered a lot of information. I was sharing with some people, okay, this is how you go Europe, this is how you do it, because it's my dream. People, oh, that's not true. Whatever, if it's true, why are you still here? So I changed the strategy. 2007, I was in my second year at the university. I opened my blog. This you call EBM Scholars. It was Makululo blog back in the day. So 2007, second year at the university, I created a blog sharing all these opportunities. So I want to say, people, like, if just assume 2007, I had a blog sharing all the how to get the visa to the US Embassy. All this information I'm sharing now, I was sharing back then. I didn't have even a cell phone. There's no internet on the cell phone. So now you can become expert of something. You can have a blog, you can have a YouTube, you can have vlogs, you have so much opportunities with internet. Find a way to use it positively. Because if you don't use it positively, guess what? China is using positively. And then we become the victim of China. US is using positively. Russia is using positively. Canada is using positively. So they're using to discover things. For us, we used to watch, Bad Boy now. Now, for entire week is Arsenal, Man City. Who is going to win the Premier League? Even if they win it, they lose. What are you going to gain? For them, after losing or winning, they're going to hug one another. That continues. You who doesn't get to pay even a single dollar, you are going to be upset the entire week, the entire month, the entire season next year. You are going to be upset because you didn't win the Premier League or Champions League. Life continues. Yes, these things are there, but in Africa, we have this internet now. Let's use in a positive way. Yes, there are those kind of things. If you go, for instance, on the website Fiverr is just like an Uber platform, hotel.com platform, where all innovators are there. If you want someone to edit your video, right? Someone to create a book cover, if you want someone to write a project proposal, you can write there and you can get someone around the world. Guess who are benefiting from there than any person? Number one, Indians, Pakistans, other countries. In entire Africa, only Nigeria is the one leading in the Fiverr. It's Africa, you find 0% in Fiverr. But guess who are the many users of the internet? Find the people from East Africa. What are they going to do? Is the problem? I understand, let's do entertainment, but let's also use certain percent on how we can use this internet to discover things. Or we can make our project. You have a business. Find a way to sell on Amazon. Find a way to sell on eBay. Find a way. Let's not end up just internet just to watch highlights. No, let's go further. I know how to edit videos. I know to make a website. Advertise on internet. I can create a website. You also have the website. But the person who's creating a website is chilling right now, is waiting for the tender for the website. One is waiting for the match of Arsenal. and for the last match. We cannot succeed that way. We're going to be behind.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We need to refocus and look at where the opportunities are and use our resources to go for those opportunities rather than always waiting for opportunities to come to us. We need to go to those opportunities. And there is a report on my pages about the Indian diaspora and how the African diaspora can learn from the Indian diaspora. Because if we come out of the continent and maintain the same logic we always use on the continent, we will not help a lot. The Indian diaspora is leading in the tech industries all over the world. And they are building the tech industry back in India. Somebody may be asking why I'm focusing on the tech industry, but the tech industry is the present and it is the future. Everything revolves around the tech industry. So those are things we need to focus on. And as you were talking about transforming or learning what you need to learn when you come out to the United States, I was talking to somebody recently and the person said, even if you continue doing what you were doing in your field back home, know that here it is done with technology. So you need to learn the technology that accompanies it. You need to learn the technology that moves it forward. If not, you would always be at the lowest level of what you are doing. Again, today I was looking through Twitter and I saw that the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom was celebrating that visas for dependents have dropped by 80%. And one of the comments was like, why don't you want these people who come to do the jobs that the UK and the British people don't want to do? So that makes you to start thinking. So they're bringing Africans in to do the jobs that they don't want to do. So what jobs are they doing and how can we compete at that level rather than always being the underdogs? I'm not one of those who think that because of our skin color, because of our continent, we're always being discriminated against. We can make it anywhere we go if we want to make it. So I encourage those who are coming here, those who want the GV lottery, those who are thinking about traveling to the rest of the world, to man up, gear up, prepare themselves and fight for themselves, fight for the world, and they can actually change the world. I don't know if you have any last words as we come to the end of the program.
No, for me, I don't have anything. It's just for me, I want to appreciate you for what you are doing. I know it might be discouraging because, as we've been saying, the content which are not crazy, viral, seeking, whatever, you might get 10 views, get 1 subscriber, but remember, even if you get 5 subscribers, you get 10 views, you are going to transform the life of 1 or 2 or those 10. So don't lose hope by the views or the number of subscribers. They will come. People understand what you are doing and how positive and impactful this what you are doing is. Myself, it took longer time, but no matter what you are doing, stick on your focus. What you are doing is the perfect thing you are going to do. I believe many people are going to benefit from.
Yeah, that's a very important point you are making. 1 month ago we had 0 subscriber on YouTube, and now we have 52 subscribers on YouTube. That is an achievement because when I look at what the length of time we have covered and the number of people who have already subscribed to the content, considering the quality of the content, it is an achievement in a short time. And I believe that more people are going to come forward, more people are going to subscribe because the kind of content we give here, we don't follow the trend, we follow the value. And we're going to stick to that. We're going to make sure that people are actually getting value from what we give, even if the trend doesn't, even if the subscribers don't grow as fast as we would have wanted, but we are confident of the knowledge and the value we add into people's lives, and that is where we are going to stick. Of course, we're going to entertain ourselves sometimes. We're going to dance, we're going to sing, we're going to watch soccer, we're going to talk soccer, but what matters is the substance of the conversation.
I usually tell people, for me, the reason when I have to make any content video, in my mind, I have one client or one person. I will be happy if he's watching my video. My mother is still alive. So if this video my mother can watch, will be proud of me. If a video I know will be embarrassed for my video online, I'm not going to make that content. Some people they make it a video. So that is my litmus paper. Like, is it going to add value? If someone is going to my mother and say, "Oh, I saw this video of your son," how will my mother react? So that is the litmus.
And what you're saying is making a lot of sense to me. You know, when I decided to go full swing on this channel on YouTube, my family remains my main marketer. My dad shares it, my wife shares it, everybody shares it, right? And my wife is like, when is it start? She's at work, but she's texting me, when are you starting? How do I watch it? Get it. I need to share. People need to watch this. And that is the emotional content or the emotional support that you need, because you need to have that support from people you trust, that believe that what you are doing is reputationally okay and adds value not only to yourself but to them. Yeah. So when I produce content and I know that my family is okay with that content, I know that other families that are like my family are also okay with that content, and with time they'll definitely come to appreciate that. And I think the problem is most of the families that are like my family that value content are not yet aware of platform. And as soon as they're aware of that platform, they'll definitely enjoy this content that we are producing. Yeah. So, like I said, we should be proud of ourselves, of what we are doing, and hoping that as time goes on, we're going to have more people coming on. And the one word here is we are not backing down. We are not surrendering. We are going for the goal. And the goal is creating value in people's lives. And I'm sure that my wife, who is at work and wants to watch, is proud of this conversation we just had. And of course, she's sharing with others who are definitely going to watch after work, and all other family members are definitely going to be doing the same. So we are so proud of ourselves, and we wish all those who got the DV good luck. All those who are thinking about other things, we wish them good luck. And we are here. You can leave a comment. You can go to Ernest's website at abmscholars.com, or you can leave a comment under our chat. We follow them, we'll respond, and we'll definitely get back to you in case we have any reaction to give. We wish you good luck and all the best. Until next time, you have been the company of Ngalim Bernard and Ernest Mukililo. Thank you so much, and see you next time.